Are we on the air now?
Welcome back.
Hey.
Welcome back.
Hey.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Not your relationship. Go.
We're working on an intro, guys.
Yes.
So, you know.
HD.
We're recording?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
this is live.
We are working on.
He was like, oh, shit.
The water is warm.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to the table, HD.
You know, the water is warm.
What's up, y'all? So it's your girl Trina. We always forget to introduce ourselves. Like, these guys know us. I mean, y'all know us, but we have new listeners. So I'm Trina.
I'm Jazz.
HDZ.
Barry B. I was gonna do this, but I can't. I wasn't gonna step up there. It's Miss Barry B. What's going on, everybody?
It's just Barry.
It's just Barry.
Just Barry.
Just Barry.
He want a nickname so bad.
Yes.
I'm getting
Let's
to
give
say.
Barry a rap name. We'll
Next time.
figure that
We'll
out for
figure
the
it
next
out.
episode.
How about you guys send in Barry a nickname?
Word.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting.
Remember,
would
he
be-
was a mascot for the choir.
Brother B.
You know what I'm saying?
Brother B.
Man, listen.
Yeah, I think you made history, bro. I've never even heard of that before.
Oh yeah.
So, what episode number is this? I want to say this is 5. Oh, wow. So we've been doing this for 5 weeks.
5 weeks.
It's like a month already, a
Yes.
month and a day, or a month and a week.
Yes.
That's so
So
exciting.
we still fresh in our relationship.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We are. We
Yeah.
still in the
We ain't
in the
saying
boo
I love you.
phase.
We ain't saying I love you yet.
Nah, not yet. We
Nah.
still saying boo. We in the
Okay.
boo phase.
we in the boot up phase.
yeah.
Boot up.
As always, thank you guys for continuing to listen, to interacting
Word.
on social.
Yeah.
I watch the numbers every single day, and I'm like amazed because this is my 3rd podcast, and none of them have been like this. And I think
Third time's a charm.
3rd time's a charm, but also like when it's a labor of love, love wins.
Love wins.
Love is the answer.
Thank you guys. This is going to be a fun episode.
Yeah.
We're talking about
It's always fun.
Yeah, but I think it's a little
What you
interesting.
trying to say, nigga?
As you can see,
First of all, let's get this out there.
we're going to let y'all know.
The guys have been tripping today.
They just woke up, so they're being
just
little
woke up.
babies.
They in the mood.
Being little babies.
They came to the table with
Tell me how
attitudes
you really feel,
today.
nigga.
And Jazz and I were like, what the fuck is going on?
Like, what's up?
Are y'all good?
I haven't said you was tripping, but since you said I was tripping, yo, you tripping all the way.
But we stopped. We got everybody some sugar. We got them some donuts. They got some lemonade. Hopefully,
Word.
hopefully they'll boost up in a second.
Yeah, we'd be good.
Yeah. So this episode, we're getting into relationships and social media. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun,
The devil.
And why do you say that, sir?
Because I think social media is, for me, it's not real. Let's focus on reality. Like,
I hate when people say that.
let's come on. Like, if
Oh my
you
God.
take too much stock in the digital as opposed to your physical relationship, you have a fucking problem.
Yeah.
You have a fucking problem.
Yeah.
It's something wrong with you.
I feel like people don't make social media real because that's their choice. Like my
But let it not
social
be a
media,
choice.
my social media is the same as I am in real life.
Right.
Like I feel like you choose. Like I do get it. I get. I always tell people that social media is your highlight reel.
Of course.
So I'm only gonna share the best moments of my life, but those are still my moments.
Right.
Like it's not a lie. It's what I actually live. So I get what you're saying, but I also feel like everybody's not like that.
I'm not talking about the highlights. I'm talking about just putting all your air and all your laundry out there. Everything need to go out, hang out on the line. You can put it in the dryer. You know what I'm saying? Everybody see your drawers hanging
you
out
say,
there. Let's
put
put
it
it
in the
in the
drawer.
dryer.
Put it in
Put
the
it
drawer.
on a heat press. You know what I'm saying? Get it fluffed up, cotton mold. They don't got to be out there on the line for everybody. Oh, look at them skid marks. You know that nigga be shitting. He don't wipe his ass. We don't got to be doing it like that. I can understand you putting precious moments on social media. People can see him like, yo, big you up. But if you putting shit out there about your relationship, you know what I'm saying, your mom's, your cousin, you looking for people to say some shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You want attention. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it 100. Like, that's just what I think. Tree, you got a great point, but your point is valid because you focused on precious moments. You don't want people, you want to share that stuff with people. But the other shit that some women be doing, and niggas too, I'm not going to just put it one side.
Niggas be
Y'all be on that
social
shit.
media. The real fuck boys.
So you brought us into the first thing that I was going to say was how much is too much to share on social. I personally think like air your dirty laundry is too much as well.
Yeah.
But I will not act like I didn't used to be one of those people. Like,
Jazz, you were one of those people.
I wasn't one of the.
Jazz?
I wasn't one of the like, oh, we got in an argument today, blah, blah, blah. It would be more so of like subliminal. yeah, I got
those quotes.
So
subliminal.
Story time, guys. So one year, I want to say this was like maybe our second year dating or something like that. Barry had went home to New York. This is so embarrassing, y'all.
Go for it.
Barry had went home to New York, and one of his friends had like wrote on his wall or commented on something. Like he was like, "I'm back, yo," blah blah blah. And like one of his friends, it was a girl, had commented under his post about like hanging out or something like that. Whatever the case was, I took it, like, looked up the girl, was like, because this was
Detective
at the time when they,
mode.
he doesn't.
Afterwards. You know what I'm saying?
He didn't know what was going
suspect
on.
the gadget
He
over
looks
here.
so unbothered right now.
Sherlock Holmes and shit.
So I had went, looked her up. At the time, Facebook had the thing where you could, like, look at, like, their friendship and see, like, where they've commented and talked and all that kind of stuff. I had went through all that shit. But whatever the comment was, it was something about them like meeting up or something like that. And I had went on my page. It was like, I was like, a bitch can get messed up in any zip code. It don't matter.
Oh my God. Ratchet.
So then I don't even remember, like, I don't remember how it came to, but like I found out like the girl was gay and like they were supposed to be like meeting up to go play basketball or some shit like that.
Yo, HD. HD. What is crazier? The fact that she knows every nook and cranny secret cheat codes to Facebook, or she done went out there and put that status up. Like, women know things, social media, that we have.
Y'all
like,
make us
what
do
the
this
hell
stuff,
are y'all
though.
doing?
Y'all make us do this.
And the problem was, it was. But I've also said on the show earlier on in our relationship, like I literally was waiting for the ball to drop, like for the ball to drop, because like I was used to always like getting cheated on and then having to be like, well, bye nigga, see you later. So I was like always waiting for the ball to drop, or always waiting for him.
She was
waiting.
half-assing. She was like, I like
I wasn't
him, but I
wasn't
don't know.
half-assing.
She wasn't all the way in. This water is warm. She assumed it was cold. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and then so like it wasn't just that. Like when he went home, like he didn't like he would, because we used to talk on the phone like every single day. So I had to get used to like, okay, he's home with his friends that he hasn't seen in forever.
That was hard for me.
He not calling me every single second of the day, and I'm like, well, you can at least text me. Like we argued for like months about that.
Just check in. That was me. And
Yeah.
I used to do that with HD. Like when he would get occupied.
Yeah.
I was so used to us talking and communicating so much to the point where like if he went missing in action for like a couple of hours at a time, I'm like, where the fuck are you? I'm calling everybody.
Where the fuck are you?
Can we talk about that?
Yes.
So wait, this is completely off subject at this point.
So, when I was in LA and I was working,
Oh my God, I don't even remember this.
I think
y'all.
you had Kingston.
Don't embarrass me, okay?
Or something. And you was like, yo, I would appreciate if you would check up on me in Kingston. And I'm like,
I didn't have Kingston, I don't think.
You had somebody.
Who?
I don't know. And he was like, I appreciate if you would check up on us because your wife is out here by herself.
I did not.
Wait, what?
That's so dramatic.
And you know,
That sounds just like you.
I did not do that.
what I want to know, is it a double standard? Because when you out working, I don't bother you at all.
No, but I always check in.
No, you don't.
No, HD, I totally do.
No. No.
Oh,
No,
see,
you don't.
that's one of them skid marks.
Right now.
Drawers hanging out there. If you must know, that's a bra. You know what I'm saying? With the white, the underarm powder on the side. You know what I'm saying?
Perfect example, right? When you was doing Yandy's wedding, you had like 12-hour work days.
Mm-hmm. But that's because, so here's the difference, and I think that everyone can relate to this. Y'all don't need attention like we need attention.
So it is a double standard.
It's not necessarily a double standard, but it's like how Barry calls it. That's just the way of the world. That's just the, like, what do you say? It's human nature.
But I'm okay.
Say it
I'm okay
again.
with letting it be a double standard because they have their double standard.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So I'm okay to let it be that.
We'll take that
It can
double
be
standard.
that.
But it's just a matter of like, and this is what I was saying earlier. I had to get used to the fact that he's not available. Like, I remember, like, sometimes I would call HD and, you know, if it's like a time where he got friends over and all that kind of stuff, I'm just used to talking to him. So it was like, I felt some type of way because he couldn't write me back immediately.
Like, you know I'm out with my friends. Why are you asking me questions? Like, hey, what's for dinner next week on Wednesday?
Because pay attention. I need attention right now.
He's being so
Send me the
dramatic
text.
right now.
Yo, and you wonder where your friends at? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh, I'll take that. You win. Okay.
I'm a
HD won.
Ding. Round
Trina's
one.
girl.
You know what I'm saying? Go put your Vaseline on, get your ice.
But it's all because we just need a little more attention than y'all.
Got you.
That's the only reason.
I got
like,
you.
it's not. But let me go missing in action. I got a story to tell.
Oh, one more piece of laundry.
Oh, shit.
This ain't going in the dryer.
Let's go.
Shit.
Let's go. Let's
This
go.
ain't going in the dryer.
And these are not bad stories. I don't mind telling these stories.
Don't go missing, nigga. That's all I Don't go missing.
They're funny.
But couple months ago, I was working in the office over here on where 587
Oh, in the
Whitehall.
hood.
Whitehall in the hood.
That's different.
No.
That's different.
Don't go missing, nigga.
Listen,
That's the hood.
I told HD, yes, I was working at the studio, and it's in the middle of the hood. And I told HD that I was gonna be home like around like 6 o'clock or something like that. So I was like maybe 30 minutes late, and my phone was on the the console, like to where you can drive and use your navigation. And it fell, and when it fell in the passenger seat on the floor. So I was like,
couldn't get it.
I couldn't reach it. Boy, HD called me like 30 times.
As he should.
He called me a gazillion times.
You wouldn't
and
have called
I
me.
didn't pick up.
Can't
So
be
he
yourself.
started calling everybody else. He called Toya. He called like 5 people looking for me. And I was like, but I'm where I told you I was going to be. Like, I'm like pulling up at the house and you blowing everybody up. So I'm saying all that to say that you do it too. You just don't do it as often.
It was a different
as I
environment. You know that environment was a little crazy.
That environment was
You know what I'm saying?
definitely
And anytime
sketchy.
you do something that's out of the norm, like you don't answer your phone,
Yeah.
I get a little
Okay, you win.
Round
You got it.
I will blow a motherfucker up.
my nigga.
Well, it's good to know that he'll blow somebody up.
Listen, if anything ever happens, I wholly believe that HD is jumping in front of anything, a
Word.
car, a bullet, a plane,
He's doing some taking shit.
He is.
Yeah.
He is.
whatever he got to do to come
Whatever
get to you.
This nigga got some
What we even
skills we
talking
don't know
about?
about.
We
So
like
back
way
to
off.
how much we should be sharing on social media.
Word.
Okay.
How do we even get off of that?
This is part of the
HD,
sharing, though.
talking crazy about people calling. and stuff.
I was talking about how I used to be one of the people to
Oh,
do
that's
subliminal
right.
stuff.
You were telling
Yeah.
your
So
story.
like I used to do stuff like that. I think when I did it, it was like subliminally, and it wasn't all the time. It was just like when I was upset with him, or like for the most part, like I used to put up like sweet love statuses
right.
like that. But then I stopped doing that. I don't know why, but I just stopped.
to realize it was lame. It was like, I don't need
Don't
to
It wasn't lame.
I know
Don't
I
call
love
it
You
it.
used to
lame.
you used to comment
love
right up under the post, so don't
Uh-oh.
say it was
I was about to
lame.
I did, but it made
I
you
was
feel
about to
good.
say-
You know what I'm
I was
saying?
about to say-
You felt
That was
good
the way
too.
you communicated.
And
So
you
I
put
said-
you put
I
posts
said,
too.
okay, cool.
What you say?
She likes this.
What you say? That's her love language.
Right.
That's her love language. You know what I'm saying? Like, really, so most guys don't know how to, show love. That was the way you showed. I said, I figured this is the way she likes it. I'm gonna do it too.
I still do it.
And did it work?
No.
Oh, nigga lying.
Here we go.
But so I definitely was never was like, oh, Barry did this, that, and the other. This nigga ain't shit. Like, that's where I think it's too much because number one, you see the cycle all the time. Like, today I'm mad at you, I'm cussing you out, you ain't shit. Tomorrow, I love the ground you
y'all
walk
out
on.
on a date.
Like,
and we see you getting chocolates.
exactly.
And stuff.
Or y'all break up today and then a week later that's your boo and can't nobody tell you nothing different and y'all need to stay out my business.
Yep.
But you putting your business on social
That's a
media.
fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
I actually know some people who have like lived through that. I know someone who her whole relationship was on social media. They got engaged and all that kind of stuff, and then something happened and they called off their engagement, and she decided to share that too. Like, most people just run. They just get off Facebook. They take a social media break.
That's what I'm doing.
They take a social media break. They go missing in action, and then they come back like nothing ever happened.
Yeah.
But this particular person, she decided to air her dirty laundry, and I kind of respect her for it because she was like, hey, I just want to let y'all know that the wedding has been called off. It didn't work out, blah, blah, blah. And I asked her, I remember having a conversation with her, and I asked her why she chose to do that. And she was like, I let people in on every other aspect of my relationship. Why would I not let them in on my truth? You know what I'm saying? Versus like running from it. So I say all that to say, it's nothing wrong with sharing stuff on social media. But I feel like if you're going to share it, you got to be able to endure the scrutiny from what's gonna come from it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just gotta live your truth all across. Like, you can't just share, and then when stuff don't go good, now we don't know what's going on. Like, you done showed me your whole relationship. You done showed me you done got pregnant. You done had the baby and X, Y, and Z, and now I can't find you. Well, now I done built this whole foundation of your whole life because this is social media.
Basically.
And you done left me in the dark.
You done shut me out.
Exactly. So you just have to be able to do it all across the board if you're going to do it.
And you also have to be willing to take critics and input because everybody think they're a psychologist. Everybody has the answers.
Word.
Like,
everybody's a social media preacher.
right.
Shit,
And
we don't got the answers.
Right.
We just
speaking on
talking.
experience.
Just shit.
Right.
Yeah.
And too, like, the good on the good side of it, like, for us, like, people, we've been on Facebook in a relationship since we've been in a relationship.
Facebook has been around.
Right. So we always get when are you gonna get married?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
even on social media, like, the people that we haven't even seen in years, or like people who don't even know us.
I think HD actually experienced that firsthand when we were dating. And this was like right into my second or third year as a blogger. I put up like an anniversary post. You remember that post? I put up a post about us being together for like 5 years or something. And people were commenting under it, and they were like, how dare you be with her for so long, and you need to leave him. Like,
I actually had a conversation with one of your followers.
They were going ham on
It was
HD.
like, this one woman was like, I couldn't be with nobody, and they didn't put no ring on my finger for that long.
Yeah, they were like, how
So
dare you?
You know, I had a conversation. I was like, yo, you right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't be with nobody that long, and that,
Wow.
yeah. And I kind of agree with them because that was around the time where I was like planning a proposal. So I was getting ready to shut everybody the fuck up. So I was just like, oh yeah, I agree. Yeah, you're right. I shouldn't be with her that long and not put a ring on her finger. You're right, yeah.
Wow. See,
But they were attacking, like, the post went up. It was, all those followers, and everybody was like,
She trying to downplay that she Insta famous.
I really hate having that conversation.
You are Insta famous.
I know it's so weird too, y'all. It's so weird to be Insta popping, not famous. But
famous.
anyway, so it was like mad comments, like hundreds of comments, and people was like, "No ring yet. When is he gonna propose? Like, don't keep her a girlfriend forever."
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was like ridiculous. And finally, HD like commented underneath one of them. But again, that came from I've been sharing our relationship on Instagram and Facebook for as long as we've been together.
Mm-hmm.
I've always, and it's not because I want people to see stuff. It's just because I like to share what makes me happy.
Right. It's just like sharing your family.
Yeah.
It's just like second nature.
Exactly.
I like privacy. I don't really like sharing my shit because I don't like questions. Don't question me about my relationship.
Yo.
Like when we was, matter of fact, before we got engaged, there was people coming up to us. So when y'all get married, when you gonna have a baby? When,
Yeah.
Like, why does that matter to you?
Shit, like, when you
Worry
have a
about
baby.
your own shit. You know what I'm saying? We good over here.
And people that don't even know us for real. Like, you ain't got my phone number, but you asking
Yeah, stop asking.
when he proposing.
And to everybody who's listening, stop asking
Please
people
stop asking
when are
people
they
that.
going to get married, when they're going to have a baby, whenever they fucking ready.
Whenever life happens.
Can we remix that? HD.
Rewind it back.
Bring that back.
Wait, what is it?
Put that remix on there. Say that one more time.
For the people in the
Listen, you
back.
saying it for me.
Yeah.
Because you said it real nice. Because me, I laugh in the motherfucker face.
He does, and it's not
Like,
even.
Barry
Oh.
is so ruthless.
Oh, really? I'm getting married when I get married.
But it's
I
crazy.
might not.
It
How about
doesn't
that?
stop though.
Right.
It doesn't stop. Like HD and
I'll say that.
HD and I got married on New Year's Eve, and I swear, I think I remember like the week of the wedding, people being like, "Ooh, y'all gonna make a baby tonight?" Like, "Ooh, when's the baby
Yeah.
coming?" Like, it's like nonstop. It's like, damn, we married. Y'all got that.
Right.
Hooray!
Yeah.
It's
Now
like
let
you
me-
never
let me be married.
satisfied. It's ridiculous.
I guess people like to push, this social order, social thing that people have to follow these specific rules. I'm like, look, man, I feel today in society it's the Wild West. Like I don't feel there's any rules out here, especially with the internet the way it is. Everything's wide open.
Just let your life unfold.
You pave the path that you want
Exactly.
out of your life. There's no fucking gatekeepers. You do what you want. If you have a relationship built off love and foundation, then build it off that. Then let it mold itself into what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't have to force feed anything. You know what I'm saying? And I feel I'm that person that's like that. And me and Jasmine built our relationship based on that.
Right,
You know,
right.
we know a lot of people with a precious background knows. I listen. I'm the type of person, I don't listen to nobody. You know what I'm
At
saying?
all.
And I do what I want to do. I respect people's opinions. Some certain people have certain, I take certain stock in to just hear them. But if Barry is not going to do nothing, he's not going to do it
That's a fact.
until he's damn good and ready. And and that's just the way it is. So for people to continue to push and hit you with this, guilt trip you, hit you with, this ain't how things supposed to work, then how is it supposed to work? Did you make the
Right.
rules?
Right.
Right.
And
You know what I'm
usually the
saying?
people that are asking that are single than $1 bill.
Come on.
Or
You know what I'm saying?
miserable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Rule number 1, don't take advice for somebody who's not in a substantial relationship.
fact.
Like, that's ridiculous. Like, the main people that were saying that to us were single, divorced, unhappy, miserable. Like,
Yo.
it's like, please go have a seat. Like,
A
we
lot
good.
of people too are looking at the good or the highlights of your relationship and like it's almost like they're living out a fairy tale through your life.
Right.
And like they don't realize, and this, I think this is also too part of why we started the show.
Yeah.
Like they don't realize the hard work that goes into those highlights.
Right.
Like the fight, we could have had a fight 5 minutes ago, but right now we showing you a good picture from the other day where we were smiling and happy and having fun. Like people don't, I think they see the happiness that you post on social
Right.
and they're like, well, why not get married right now? You know,
Right,
like stuff
right.
like that. So I think too,
I agree with that for sure.
you have to, people have to realize that,
Yeah.
It's not smoke and mirrors, but it's smoke and mirrors, if that makes sense.
Yeah, social media is definitely smoke and mirrors. And I also think that, you know, what we let you in on is just a glimpse of our reality. And I mean, like, this is the most amazing relationship I've ever been in. But at the same time, like you said, it's hard work. It's not, every day isn't always sunny and bright. Like, it's a learning lesson. And we decided to grow with each other. Like, the real reason why we haven't gotten married yet, or why we didn't get married so early on, like, HD knew he wanted to marry me, but he wasn't ready financially, mentally, like, spiritually. We just weren't at that point.
Right.
And when we did get married, it was like, it was almost like a aha, this is perfect timing, divine timing, because we wouldn't have ever had the type of experience that we had at our wedding, or like as newlyweds. We wouldn't have had that 5 years ago.
Right.
So, I mean, I think that people are just, like you said, looking for something to latch on to. Because when we got engaged, I don't think I even posted on social media that we got engaged. My sister did.
Wow.
And I just wanted to, like, be in the moment.
Right.
And enjoy it. And I remember, like, waking up the next day and being tagged in, like, 10 posts, like, oh my God, Trina got engaged. Oh my God, did I just see Trina get engaged? And it's like, everybody was sharing it.
And like, you didn't even have a chance
and I didn't even tell anybody
24 hours and experience it yet.
Because I wanted to go through a full day of just, like, being. And then I called my family and my friends and I told them, like, privately. But by the time I got on Facebook, everybody knew. That's
what I said I wanted to do. I said, when our time came.
Mary's face. Mary's face.
Yeah.
He knows. I've told, like, I'm not crazy, but, like, I drill it in his head all the time, like, what I want. So I'm like, this is, like, I've sent him the ring that I want for, like, the past
I did that.
Trina did
years.
the same
I
thing.
did that.
And then, like, I went back and forth. So at first I was like, I just want it to be me and you and da-da-da-da. And, like, then we'll come home and tell people. Then I was like, you remember when, like, all the engagement videos first came out where people were doing the surprise engagements with the family showing up.
Yeah.
And I think it was a commercial where, like, they were at a museum and, like, the people were on the stairs looking at newspapers, and then they put the newspapers down and it was the girl's family.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I was like, Mary, I want something like that. So I'm just, like, all caught up in the hype. But I think I would do the same thing. Like, just take some time.
It's crazy, though. And we are so off subject, so we apologize. But
we're not necessarily off subject.
No, we aren't. We're still talking about social media.
Yeah.
But it's crazy because I learned, one of the biggest things that I learned through social media, I mean, not through social media, through, like, this whole engagement and newlywed phase, was everything that I pictured was absolutely not.
Right.
Like, it was, like, in my head, like, HD, the way he proposed, even though it was perfect and I loved it, I just didn't expect for him to pull it off like that.
Right.
Like, it just didn't go down the way I thought that he would have
Right.
made it happen. And then, like, I never would have thought we got married on New Year's Eve. Like, who does that?
Right.
I just knew I think I remember telling him I wanted a, like, outdoor backyard wedding, like, at my parents' house in October.
Yeah.
Well, that was completely opposite.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
it was like, you know, everything that we imagined just turned into what life
Made
into.
it, yep.
Exactly. And you can't control that, which goes back to, you just can't listen to those people on social media who try to rush your process for you. Like, your process is your process.
So, speaking of control,
Ooh, that's a hard word.
other things we probably cannot control on social media.
Oh, God.
DMs.
DMs.
Body thoughts.
And people hopping in them.
Ooh, let me slide in them
See,
DMs.
it's hard. I guess it's hard when you popping. Me personally, shit, I'm not popping. You know, I don't get that. You know, so shit, Trina's Insta popping.
I get
so.
all the creeps.
What's up?
You gotta have thick skin dealing with
I
that
get
shit.
all the creeps on a daily basis, like multiple times a day. And they don't care that HD is all over my page.
Yeah.
They be in there long and strong, like.
It's funny. Like, I get DMs sometimes, but it's like always, and I hate to sound, this probably sounds bad, but it's always like foreigners.
Yeah, Middle Eastern men.
Yeah, and
they
it's
love
like,
us.
all right, guys.
Yeah.
Delete. Like, I don't
Same.
even, I'm like, this is weird.
Yeah, or African men love us too.
Yeah,
There's a lot of-
they like fetishize, like, oh shit. My bad, y'all. like plus size women. So I think that's just weird. But outside of like thoughts or people that we don't know, have y'all ever had people that you do know like hop into y'all's DMs?
Yeah, I definitely think early on into our relationship, I still had a lot of people like, well, especially when Insta stories started, just off of conversations too. Mm-hmm. So I'm doing 2 separate examples. Back in the day, I used to have like those random dudes that you went to school with, or they saw you at a club when I used to go out. They used to always find me on social media and go from there. And then like now it's like those conversations that you're having on social media, like you post something, they gonna comment on your Insta stories. Now they in your inbox. Right. So I personally, like, I try not to talk to guys on social media just because I just don't want
you don't want them to think anything of it.
Yeah, like I just don't want it to evolve into another conversation.
But you don't need no entertainment.
I don't even go there, like, because I still follow guys on social media. But if they're in my stories, I just look at the story. I don't try to have that conversation because I don't want it to ever open the door to like I never put myself in a situation.
You don't want misunderstanding.
Exactly. But and then another thing, I also think that HD and I are just open with our phone. So he can see anything in my phone. I'm pretty sure I can go in his phone and see anything.
What you mean pretty sure? You go on my phone all the time.
Oh, yeah. I didn't want to say it like I just be in your phone, but I do. I be in his phone, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's common.
Yeah.
Like if you're in a long relationship, but I think like because we were like open with each other's phones like from the jump, like we weren't, we never like hid anything from each other. Like
I had a thumbprint back when you had thumbprints. I like.
Barry took my thumbprint off, but I know his code.
What's the difference? Like thumbprint on the code, like it doesn't matter. I just don't want you making like charges on my debit card. That's why I said no thumbprint.
Yeah. The day I got my
I want
phone,
misunderstandings.
The day I got my phone, Trina's thumbprint was at it.
Yeah. He took my thumbprint off because I had one, and he was like, "But you can't be making purchases."
This is connected to my Apple Pay. You know what I'm saying? That's why I got a thumbprint for. You paying on what you're paying for shit by mistake.
So I have a question. So what about? So, fellas, we get the twerk videos on our timeline.
Oh my god, those damn twerk videos!
And we get the Instagram models.
I got a funny story about this.
They ass cheeks and
I don't know the story.
I was gonna take it there too.
They goodies. Ooh. You know what happened if we see something that we like? Oh, can we like the picture?
No.
What happened if y'all see something y'all like?
I don't like pictures, and I see eggplants all day, and I don't like them.
Mm-mm. So, like years ago, I'm not trying to embarrass you.
Hey, run it.
Barry and
story time.
Barry and his brother had like started this Instagram page.
Oh my God, Barry!
It was like,
what was it called?
Like.
Oh.
It was like
yeah, I wish I could see Barry's face.
I don't know if it was really
this dark skinned brother is turning pink right now.
Shit.
I don't know if it was like
you weren't
what
ready
it was
for that
called.
story.
Listen.
They had came up with like a plan to like make like a trash page with like women with big butts and like big boobs and stuff like that.
Barry.
Yeah, it was a market. So
it was for marketing.
It was a marketing scheme. We was gonna pull off that, which what people are doing now on Instagram. They do like a fake would do things like that,
and then they wipe the whole page,
we'll
and you got 100,000 followers.
And then we'll change it. So it was
it
was a marketing scheme, but the marketing scheme was to grab attention of dudes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And with women and big asses and things and shapely bodies, things like that.
That's actually a good money maker.
Yeah,
because you could sell the page.
And it was working. But the initial idea when Jasmine saw, she was like, "The fuck kind of what is this, my nigga?"
Because also I didn't know about it.
Yeah, she didn't know about it.
And so my initial finding out about it was like me being on Barry's Instagram, and then I'm seeing like all these pictures of like naked women, and I'm like, what is this? Like, and like I'm seeing him like liking on stuff and commenting and stuff, and I'm like, what is this? So I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all.
Until I understood
what it
was about.
So we have a similar story to that. So HD was planning a bachelor party.
Oh, shit.
HD was planning a bachelor party for somebody, and like again, we're always in each other's phones.
Right.
So I opened up his phone, and I think I was like looking up something on Safari, and I opened up Safari, and it's like a stripper page of like local strippers. And I'm like, he's sleeping right next to me, and I'm like, okay, I don't want to freak out. Like, I don't want to be that. I don't want to just wake him up and knock him upside his head,
like me.
So I like wait till he.
Niggas.
I try to never be like the crazy, even though I am. I lose it.
Y'all can't help it.
I lose it, but I try to like keep it calm.
It's like split decision.
That sickness coming up.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
so I wake him up out of his sleep, and I'm like, hey, I want to talk to you about something. And he's like, is everything okay?
Yeah, because she don't usually start.
When you hear that, you gotta talk about something. Something's wrong.
It's
And then
wrong.
if I wake you up out of your sleep, like I don't let you just wake up. So I'm like, hey, like, what's going on? Like, we good? You need strippers? Like,
like what the fuck?
yeah, like
you don't like this?
That was a tactic right there, HD. You disoriented. She woke you up. Now she asked you about strippers. You confused.
Right,
he was
right.
totally confused.
I was like, what is she
And so,
talking about?
eventually we got to the bottom of it, and he was like, that's actually not for me. It's I'm helping with a bachelor party, and I sent him some recommendations for some strippers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I told him moving forward, like I never want to be like on him to the point where he feel like he can't do anything.
Yeah.
Like I just need to know, because I'm in your shit.
Yeah.
So just communicate with me. Hey, babe, we working on a bachelor party. I'm looking up strippers. You want to help? Sure, I'll throw you some.
She said, you want to help?
Shit. That's I'm not doing that.
And HD knows I'm open like that. Like I
Yeah.
would have pulled up my computer and been like, this hoe will set it out for $500. Like
She do tricks and all that.
But I just, like the whole moral of the story, Barry and HD, this wouldn't have went left if he would have communicated that. Like I'm sure Jazz would have understood what y'all were doing if.
But he doesn't have. For me, if he's handling some business, like that's between him and his. If he needed your help on something, I'm sure he would have asked for it. For me, I'm like, if I'm doing something, understanding I'm doing something. This is not, if you have a question, I'm gonna answer it. I'm not hiding nothing. You know what I mean?
It's not a matter of hiding. It's a matter of, just being thoughtful of what could potentially come
Being
from it.
proactively.
But sometimes, what the guys that we hang with, what I'm saying? We have guy time. We don't want to include females.
Exactly.
Well,
in our
I'm not
private
saying
time.
no. What I'm saying is, I was just joking about including me. I didn't mean that for real. But what I'm saying is, it would have been perceived better if you would have been like, hey, I'm working on this bachelor. Like it could have came up in casual conversation. Hey, I'm working on this bachelor party.
Yeah.
And then that was,
Because I'm in your shit. Like I go through your phone.
I don't believe, for me. I don't care how it's
those-
perceived. If I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. I'll explain it to you later.
Yeah.
That's just how I'm in. Jasmine, we've been through that. She's like, well, nigga, you didn't. I'm like, well, I didn't care to explain because it's nothing wrong.
I need to know, and HD knows that I need to know, because like I'm one of them people. I just pick up a phone. Like it could be my phone or his phone.
Yeah.
If I'm ordering pizza, I'm just gonna grab the phone. That's
the thing. I think a lot of women don't understand sometimes and judge. It's context. All this stuff is happening in the proper context. HD is doing certain things in certain context. It wasn't about him searching or seeking out women for him personally. It was for another friend. Being that you guys didn't understand that and know what that was, now you coming for the throat. But the fact that you jumped, in that scenario, woke him up, is like he's feeling like whoa. What the hell? What's going on? Like, I didn't do nothing wrong.
Yeah.
What's happening now? He may feel like he did something wrong. Now, shit. Did I? Yeah. Was I searching for some strippers for myself now?
Yeah.
His mind is starting to get fucked up. He's like, shit.
But you don't have to even be put in that situation.
If you say something ahead of time.
Because I guarantee, like for example, when I went to Miami for Dion's bachelorette weekend, like, I don't want HD on Snapchat seeing me in a strip club and doing, all this kind of stuff.
Like,
I let him know all that stuff
going on
up front. because I want him to know so that he doesn't assume anything.
Right.
And that way, when it comes down to it, I done already laid my cards out on the table.
Okay.
Right.
Don't you think trust is a big deal in that?
Well, it's not even about trust,
because for me,
though.
I feel if Jasmine put in that situation, she's out there. I trust that. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing, out there, disrespect going out there, and I just let her, do you handle your business, whatever you're doing out there.
I know he trusts me,
it's cool.
but it's also about me being thoughtful enough to let him know things up front. Like I just want him to know. Just because I want to communicate that with him. Like, it's not a matter of if he trusts me or not. It's just a matter of me wanting to
set the stage and show,
exactly.
just let you be aware of what's going on.
Yeah, but
just like if you going out somewhere and you send the text with the address, like this is where I'll be in case something happens. Like you don't need to know where I'm going, but I'm letting you know just because.
It's just because I'm thoughtful and I want to make sure that you know that information up front. Barry is winking. I can't. Anyway, we are totally left field again.
We were talking about the DMs.
Yeah, so the DMs, man. I just think that you have to be able to trust your partner when it comes to DMs.
Yeah.
And if you with the right person, sliding in DMs won't matter.
Nah.
Yeah.
Shit. Me personally, like.
It's actually hilarious.
You send me a DM. Listen, lady, you in no danger. You know what I'm saying? Because half the time I don't even see him. I'm not Instagram like that to really. I don't engage too much on Instagram often. So I'm like, sometimes it do come up. I don't even pay attention. Mm-hmm. Or if I see, I'm like, this is stupid or delete it. It's whatever. I don't really care for it. So I feel
he does that now.
It takes two, to engage. Like, so if somebody can send somebody, you can't control somebody's actions. If they send something, if you engage, then that's something different. If you don't even engage with it, it's not a problem.
Yeah, and it's
just
also
fact if you get curious and say, what's this about? Let me just see.
Right.
And that, you know what I'm saying, that curiosity, like you say, kills the cat. Or at least, that's cat food. We learn the cat, so to speak. So, that can get you in trouble. But if you immediately say, nah, that shit don't smell right, and walk away.
Yeah, but the thing is like, I think it also matters, like, who are you with? Like, if you're to the point where, and it might just be you, are you that insecure? Or are you really with a dude that you're not supposed to be with? Like, to the point where you can't trust them, but you're so engaged that you follow up and you sliding in his messages to read. You done figured out his passcode, even though he hasn't given you that access. Like, it's one thing if you're in a relationship with somebody and they're open like we are and we share all of our codes with each other, but you done broke into this man's Instagram account or you just snuck into his phone. That's a problem with you.
Yeah.
So
that's their insecurity.
Because you can't control what people do.
No.
Yeah. You definitely can't control what people do. You can't control what people do. I personally, like, I think that I talk about Barry so much, like that. Like, if you were to even try to hop in my DMs like that, and you like if it's a regular person, not somebody, a foreigner, like, it's almost stupid. Like, I think I used to tell him all the time, like, I'm kind of like weird. Like, when I like people, like, I talk about them all the time. It don't matter. Like, I find some kind of way to bring you up in a conversation. So it's like, ain't no way that you thinking you got some kind of like slide in with me. So I think too, like, if it's a difference if it's somebody that you don't know and they're hopping in your DMs. Yeah. But then if it's somebody that you do know and they're hopping in your DMs, then I feel like that means they don't
do?
Either what did you do or they don't have respect for your relationship. So again, what did you do or what have you not done for them to respect your relationship?
You hop in my DMs, me and my wife want to talk about you.
Yep. Or your wife gonna respond.
If I see a DM from a woman, I'm opening in front of my wife and we going to crack jokes.
Yes. We are definitely doing that. That's what we do. Or I respond.
What have you responded before?
I haven't really had to, though. And she doesn't really get
I don't get DMs.
Random DMs from people. Like, his DMs are like literally connections with producers.
Right.
Like,
listen to my music.
Work.
Yeah.
Like send me your info, bro, so we can link the next time I'm in LA.
Yeah.
Like that's his DMs. So he doesn't really have those. He's never really had an issue with DMs. Nope. So, but if it came down to it, just know that it's gonna be Trina responding and not HD, because that's just how we get down in the Smith household.
Yep.
So I think that kind of covers social media and relationships.
No, it was one more. What was the last one?
Well, so we kind of talked about it in the beginning because it was how much to show, how far is too far, and how to handle significant others' DMs. So we kind of talked about all of that in the beginning.
Nice.
So we did have like a question come in. We talked about it before on episode 2, but I think maybe just y'all like pinpointing. Or giving some exact tips. But we had a question come in that said...
Thank you, listener, by the way,
yes,
for the question.
Yes, shout out to you.
It says, hey, y'all, love what you're doing with this podcast. It's so dope. But anywho, I have a question for Trina and HD.
Hi, it's us.
Hey.
How do you make a long-distance relationship successful? I'm in a new long-distance relationship, and I've done it before, but it wasn't successful because of the other person. So what tips, suggestions, or advice do you have? Thanks in advance.
Off the dome, HD. 3 points. Go.
The nudes.
Yes.
Oh my God. No.
Send nudes, please.
No, I think communication is a big part. You know, when me and Trina, I was living in New York, she was living in Alabama. We talked like 12 times throughout the day. And it got to
so much.
It got to a point where it actually felt like she was in the state with me.
Yeah.
You know, so I think communication is a huge part. Like, don't go missing.
Don't go missing.
Yeah.
It's gonna get crazy.
Yeah. If you talking to somebody, they go missing. Chances are they not up to no good. Yeah. Communication, nudes.
Nudes.
Yes.
HD.
That's
Nudes.
important.
It's
Really?
important. Keeping it spicy. Keep it, because again, there's a lot of girls that would do it for free, especially where they live at.
Oh my God.
You didn't do it in person. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? So send news, keep it spicy, keep it sexy. You got anything?
Yeah, but you got 3. You need a third one. Go.
Shit, I don't know.
3.
It's hard. It was hard. Oh yeah, and
It was that hard, baby.
shit, it was hard. It was hard and expensive. Just know
It was expensive.
you gonna spend
as
some paper.
fuck. Yeah. We paid for a wedding with being in a long distance relationship.
We could have had a down payment for a house or something. But
Yeah, it was very expensive. I would say if I could give 3, points on how to really make it work is the first one, and it's probably the most important, is really realizing that like failure isn't an option. Like valuing a relationship just like you would value the relationship with a person who's right down the street. So making sure you putting in that time because you can't physically see them. And just really knowing that like y'all got to get through this. Even if I can't see you this month, how are we gonna, make it work? Even if I can't see you this month. So I guess that kind of goes with communication. The second part is just really being creative. Like HD and I used to do things that made us feel like we were closer together. Like we used to sleep on FaceTime. I think I mentioned that in the first podcast. We used to, like when we first started dating, like when we were just talking back in the day, we used to send letters. Like we used to always, like I used to wake up to really long text messages from him, or he would, oh man, one of the biggest things that always made me feel really good was like if it was late at night, like, and when you're in a relationship with somebody who's close, they come and make sure you get home safe. He couldn't do that. So I would be leaving from the club and he would be like, call me when you leave out. And he would like stay on the phone with me until I got to my car. Like I would be on FaceTime with him, just so that I could get to my car. And it would be 3 a.m. He would be like sleep. But he would just make sure that I got home. And then before I got out of my car, like I would call him and be like, I'm about to get out of my car. And he would talk to me all the way till I got to where I was going, you know, just because he wanted to make sure like I was safe, even though he was 16 hours away. So I think it's just like really being thoughtful and proactive with what you have. Right. Like taking what you got and making it something special. And then just investing into your relationship. Like, it's gonna be expensive.
Yeah, it's a little sacrifice.
Yeah.
It's definitely a bigger sacrifice than two people that's in the same state or same area.
Yeah.
So just be willing to sacrifice, be willing to, you know, have good intentions with your partner. You know what I'm saying? If you not out here doing the right thing, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna show. Put that effort in. Put the effort in. Yeah, make sure your heart is in the right place for it.
Yeah.
You know?
And then if you're not ready, don't do it.
Yeah.
Like, don't waste anybody's time. Like, if you know you can't be faithful to a girl that's down the street, you know you can't be faithful to a girl that's 16, 17, 18 hours away.
That's a fact.
So, like, I think it just boils down to, like, putting in the work. Like, you have to find ways to be creative to make a relationship last that's, you know, not on the same time zone. Right. And it's hard and it's exhausting. And the last thing I would say is have an end goal. Like, talk about where y'all are going to go from that. Because you're not going to be long distance forever. So what's your plan? And realistically plan to make moves towards that goal. So that's what I would say. That's my, you know, that's me. That's it. Long distance relationships work.
I like
they really work. Like, don't be scared.
Yeah.
It's hard and it's annoying as fuck.
Yeah.
But it really works.
So another thing we're gonna try to start doing, because y'all really loved like our love moments, is answering the off the cuff question before we get out of here every week. So this week we posted a question on social, and I already answered, but my three co-hosts haven't answered yet. So I want to hear what they say, and then I'll kind of expand on what I said. But what do you guys love most about your relationship?
Our communication is on point. We in a space right now where we just talk about anything and everything, whether it be bad or good. You know, whether it be hard or easy to talk about, our communication is on point. I love the space that we're in right now.
Oh, shit. Yeah, our communication is dope. What do I love most about our relationship? I think I love most that, like, we're genuinely friends. Like, it's like, that's my baby. I love him. I'm in love with him. I'm infatuated with him. But if all of that fail, like, that's my best friend first. And I just talked about this to HD in the car. Like, I don't really have, like, substantial friends in my life right now. Like, I have my friends that, you know, I've been around.
It's
but
different.
Life has definitely taken me on a whirlwind with, like, people in my life this year. And he's, like, the most consistent friend that I have in my corner. And I feel like if you stripped, like, our wedding bands away and us dating, us fucking, all of that, like, he's still, like, the coolest dude in my life. So that's
man, for me, at this point now, this level that me and Jasmine are in, we got these things that I really enjoy, you know, and it took a while to build this up. We got, like, you know, the nonverbal cues of our communication, I think is, you know, on point. Where we can say things with our bodies and our eyes, you know what I mean? I can give her, like, little signals, smoke signals, she knows exactly, oh, shit. Yeah, my nigga, I see that. Or, yo, that shit is crazy. Yeah. And we got these little cues, and she picks up on it. You know what I mean? So it's just like I'm like the baseball coach when I'm throwing all the signals, and you know when to throw the curveball, the slider, and she knows I see you, my nigga. I got you.
Right.
I know what to do. Boom, boom. And I'm sending out these signals and these cues, and that just, you know, goes to the level of communication that we at now, where we could just do just nonverbal things and we can express ourselves without saying much, and we on the same page, which I think is really dope. You know what I mean? That just comes with timing and, you know, now
learning each other.
Yeah, learning each other, and our personalities just really just, you know, just matching at, you know, at a high rate right now. So
That's what's up.
And so what I had said was that I love like our laughs. Like with anything, if we're arguing, upset, whatever, like we always find a way to laugh about stuff. Like we laugh about the stupidest stuff. Like, and we don't take ourselves too seriously
at all.
I used to take myself too seriously, like all the time, and I used to be so mad at him because I'd be like, Barry, I'm being serious right now. Like, I'm mad. And he's like, I get it. Like, laughing in my face. And I'm like, okay, like, now I get, like, because I was making a mountain out of a molehill. Like, I was getting upset. And it was more so about not being able to express myself all the way. And then also, like, we had a conversation last night where he was just, like, telling me how he felt about something. And I was like, oh, okay. So now that you told me this, I can be conscious of what I'm doing because I didn't know that that's how you were feeling about that. Mm-hmm. So, like, just that level of communication of being able to, like, get out of my feelings of being like, oh, well, no, I want to do it this way or whatever, and, like, understanding each other and, like, fixing things and, like, working on stuff together. Yeah. Like, that's what I like most. So, yeah.
Enough of that mushy shit. Let's get back to the
Barry doesn't like the mushy stuff.
He hates the final segment.
Get back to the DMs. You know what I'm saying? The titties and ass and nudes. Let's get back to that.
Barry started a whole page?
Yeah, it was a whole. I want to say it was called Senor Cakey. I don't know if that's true.
Oh my god!
Nah, that's a made up name.
That's a made up name.
Shout out to my homeboy.
Yeah,
for that name, but that wasn't the name of it.
No.
Okay. I don't want to say the real name for.
Say it, Barry. Say it.
Say it now.
You got to.
It was called She's Cakey, and it's pretty much it was just getting a whole bunch of pictures and do alike and follow this page. It was a marketing tactic that we were trying to use, and then just switch it up later to something else. And that's just what it was, and it worked. It was working, but I just got tired of maintaining it, so I just let that shit go.
So now I need to know: are y'all ass or titty men, or what is it? What is it?
Oh, titties all day.
What? Hold on.
Clearly, HD is the ass man.
HD is a thigh man.
That's the water bottles of life.
You know why I'm not a titty man? Because I got titties.
Baby, I love your titties.
I'm an ass and thigh man all day.
HD is a thigh man all day.
This nigga is hilarious.
And on that note, drink some water.
Oh my god.
That was like the perfect way to end this, so I don't even want to talk no more. We're going to get out of here.
See y'all next week.
Thank y'all.
We gotta close out and just say thank y'all for all this. Thank y'all for all this, these questions, man.
Oh my god.
Yo, all y'all questions is doing all of this, man. We just really appreciate y'all for tuning in.
Yes.
Word.
And we brought y'all another episode. But listen, this can't happen without y'all's feedback and y'all listening to it. We didn't think this was going to be. We didn't think this was going to be what it was.
Not to us.
We don't want no news.
No, stay out of my man DMs.
No, we don't want that. But thank you. We out. Appreciate y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Later.
Yo.